Good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook video where I'll take you with me during my analysis on the JPY basket and the JPY pairs. So what we can see on the JPY basket is that yesterday, after swiping the swing structure to the downside, we made a break of structure for our in towards the downside, and we saw a big push in towards the upside, breaking the 4-hour fractal structure, thus creating a demand zone over here. And yesterday I said I wanted to see the price trade down lower in toward its demand zone and then potentially trade back out in towards the highs to trade to at least this supply zone situated over here together with the 0.5 Fib retracement. So what happened on the 1 hour is that we did tap in towards this demand zone. We did see a small reaction in towards the upside. But as of now, I can still see price continuing down lower. Also because there's not a lot of liquidity in this move. So maybe we want to see this low go and then see a reaction in towards the upside, or price just continues down lower from here. But we'll have to see for that. For now, not a lot of clarity on the JPY basket, so I rather stay out. But I am going to see if there are some potential positions forming on the pairs. Starting with Euro JPY. Euro JPY yesterday traded down during the Friday afternoon session with some news of the Middle East in towards the downside. We did trade back in towards this demand zone over here, the 4-hour demand zone. And this is also a bit of the difficult part about trading, because yes, we are having a supply zone over here. 4-hour supply zone, breaking structure over here, so you would expect that we can see a retracement back down and then in towards the downside, continuing towards the liquidity. And I did talk about this already, but what's also happening is that over here we have a demand zone situated, so that's the 4-hour bullish chain, and currently we are fighting between demand and supply. So either of the two things can happen. What I would like to see now is that if we can break this demand zone over here, then yes, I want to look for a retracement back up and then down lower. That would mean that the JPY basket also trades up higher. Otherwise, what I think can happen is that we just swipe these lows and then together with the weekly open, and we can get some confirmation on the lower time frame, maybe to trade up higher towards at least this high. But we have to wait, and it's a bit unclear because yes, after a break of structure in towards the upside, you would expect a pull down towards at least the 0.5 Fib retracement. But what you see most of the times on a yen pair is that if it goes, and you just have to enter the move. So there are two possible scenarios for your JPY, and I'm just going to wait for either one of them to play out. But I don't want to get into a trade when demand and supply are fighting each other. So let's wait this one out. Then we have GBP JPY. It's kind of the same here because yes, we did swipe major liquidity on the upside here. Yes, we broke down and we have a supply zone situated over here, but also there is this demand zone over here for our demand zone. So for price to really turn bearish and for me to say price really can trade towards these discount zones and the yearly open, maybe we have to see at least a break of this low, then a retracement back up, and then I can get into some shorts. Otherwise, I see price just retrace and then continue up higher with the momentum, with the JPY basket trading down even lower after a small retracement that we made, but not like a retracement I really can trade. Then we have AUD JPY, also came back in towards its supply zone now. Over here, structure is a bit more clear. We did make a tap in towards this supply zone, this refined supply zone. Then made a break down, a break up, and now a break down on the 1 hour again. So let's see what can happen here. If we look at the 4 hour, it's still really rather bullish. There is still demand situated over here. Also a bit tricky. What we can maybe wait for is, let's see what happens here. Break up and then a breakdown and then a second breakdown. So yeah, maybe see a retracement towards this high over here, and then see what price does on the 1 hour time frame. If we then can get a breakdown, I would like to get into a sell stop, and then with our stop loss still above this high, just to be sure and have some room. Also because we can trade down quite lower, and there is some equal low situated over here. So let's see what we can get on AUD JPY. For this to happen though, I do need to see some kind of bullish price action forming on the JPY basket, because I don't want to blindly get into a short when everything on the JPY basket is still super bearish. Because what can also happen over here is that we just swipe these lows now and then see confirmation back in towards the upside. And then I don't want to be in this trade. As the JPY, yesterday what I saw is that we had a supply zone situated over here, but as you can see, what just happened is we swiped a lot of liquidity. We came back in towards this, or actually this demand zone over here, 4 hour demand. Tap in, and then we broke the highs once again. So I think we can take out these highs, and this sell position is off the charts, and it's just going to be a waiting game on NZD JPY for me. CAD JPY, the same story. We swipe some liquidity underneath this low, and then we see a continuation in towards the upside. Yesterday, by some chance, I did draw this because we were trading here in the morning, and I was looking at the fact that we could indeed take out liquidity over here and then continue down or continue up higher, and that's exactly what played out. But I didn't take a trade on it because it was a bit against what I saw happening on the JPY basket, so it was not an A+ setup for me. We did take out this high though, without a lot of liquidity in this whole move, and yeah, let's just wait what the JPY basket wants to give us. But there is still some more potential to trade towards at least this high for CAD JPY in my opinion. Then we have at last the CHF JPY. What happened over here is that we now finally broke structure in towards the upside. So we broke up here, and then we were bullish between this low and this high over here. And now we broke that high, so we can mark out this, or actually this over here, 19 and 15. So yeah, this over here is now your 4 hour break of structure. And let's see what we can do. Yesterday also we continued down lower in towards this demand zone, or actually on Friday already, and then yesterday we just chopped up higher, but there were no real positions to be taken over here. So this is also going to be a waiting game for some more clarity. And then we've already passed through all the JPY pairs and the JPY basket. So yeah, just for today, what I'm going to do is wait on the JPY basket, what it's going to show us. And if we can see some bullish momentum coming into the JPY basket, then yes, I want to look for some potential short setups. But if not, I'm going to stay out and just let it continue down even lower. Guys, thanks for watching today's Market Outlook episode, where I covered all the JPY pairs and JPY basket. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more daily market outlooks and want to learn from what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, and of course ask a lot of questions in the comments. I like to have the interaction with you. I like to see and talk about what you're looking for in the markets. And I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow. Bye.